You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans, I've got your weekly prediction edition. We're going to talk about Bill Spencer being on a rampage and Brooke Logan being oh so smug. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, reach down, click that subscribe button. We've got predictions for Taylor, for Nick, for Bill and Grace, for Brooke and Ridge, and also for Sheila and Lee. Let's get right into it. Our very first prediction, Taylor is horrified that she is not getting hitched. So this week, Taylor tells Ridge that Brooke has a future, but it's with Nick, not him. And Taylor also tells Ridge she's not taking off her engagement ring. So as you know, we shared the leak from the Italian magazine weeks and weeks ago. We had it translated and shared when Brad Bell first let all this slide. Last week, Brooke fell off the back of a boat and Ridge dived into the water and swam, I don't know, a quarter mile out to get her. It was kind of ridiculous how far away he was from the boat. Also, can Brooke really not swim? Anyway, so Ridge went from CPR to putting his tongue in Brooke's mouth and told her that he was sorry he took her for granted. It would never happen again. And he vowed to make things right while kissing and cuddling her. And she was all smiles because she got what she wanted and that she's been fighting for, to be fair. But once again, Ridge has bounced from one woman to another without warning the other woman that he was waffling. It's the same old thing with him and Brooke and Taylor. Meanwhile, Brooke looked delighted. There's a spoiler photo from the week ahead with her and Katie, and Brooke looks like the cat that ate the canary. She knows she beat Taylor and got her man back. So Ridge has got to come clean to Taylor that he is getting back with Brooke, and this time it's really over for the two of them. Ridge is going to say he's never leaving Brooke again. Taylor, however, isn't ready to take off the ring, and I think she's going to have a serious case of denial that will then turn to horror because Ridge promised Taylor and Steffi both he wouldn't do what he is doing right at that moment. Poor Taylor really thought things were different this time, but Ridge is about to break her heart again, and we all knew it was coming, right? All right, our second prediction, Nick Marone is furious. So he's telling Brooke next week in LA it isn't over between them. He heads there to follow her. He says he still loves Brooke, and he pulls out an engagement ring and proposes. Nick was ready to propose in Italy, and Eric did all he could to intervene, and then the boat went bonkers, and he tossed Brooke into the sea, and then Ridge played hero, and Nick looked like an idiot, but he's not done yet. He follows Brooke back to LA so she can make an even bigger idiot of him. Nick wanted Brooke off the merry-go-round that Ridge has had her on for decades, but the simple fact is that's the ride that Brooke wants to be on. I don't get it. Ridge is no prize, but the heart wants what it wants, and of course, Brooke is going to turn Nick down flat when he pulls out that ring, and I doubt he is going to take it well. I expect him to be furious, and he may have some things to say to Ridge for playing with Brooke's heart. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nick gave Brooke an ultimatum, something like, this is it. Choose me or we're over for good. I will not ask again. I don't want to be on this ride anymore either. Of course, it doesn't matter what Nick says. Brooke is going to stick with Ridge. Now, what I'd really like to see, if I'm being honest, is for Nick and Taylor to leave town together in a huff, to lick each other's wounds and flipping middle fingers at the people that have broken up with them. I doubt we would get something that fun, though. I'm sure it's just going to be and Taylor's crying and Nick's mad, and that's it. Our third prediction, Bill destroys Grace Buckingham. So in the preview for next week, Bill says that B is going to pay, except he says the word. I'm not going to say it. YouTube doesn't like profanity. So next week is not a pretty one for Dr. Grace Buckingham. After coming clean to Liam, he lunged at her with violence in his heart, and Finn has manhandled her and Hope slapped her. I will say I've seen some angry commentary on Soap's social media about Grace as a Black woman being surrounded and threatened by 3 white people, no matter the reason, and people are particularly not happy that Hope slapped her. I will say, in terms of history that Hope slapped felony Flo Fulton, the woman who helped Reese steal her baby Beth. And still, I kind of thought Hope's physical attack was over the top and maybe not justifiable, but a lot of fans are calling the whole scenario racist. And I will say that I feel like Brad Bell's pretty tone deaf all around on issues like that. So take it for what you will. This week, Grace has more confrontations ahead. Although Friday she said she would turn herself into the police, next week she's back at work. Bill hears the ugly truth from Liam about the drugging and faked cancer and the $1 million scam, and he goes ballistic. Bill is livid the week ahead and vows to make that B pay. I'm certain he's going to try and destroy Grace personally and professionally. Bill goes up to the hospital to threaten Grace, and this won't be pretty. Our fourth prediction, Brooke and Ridge formally announce their reunion. So Brooke turns down Nick's proposal next week, and Ridge tells Taylor the ring on her finger doesn't matter anymore because he is back with Brooke and he's not going to let her go again. And once Brooke and Ridge have had these hard conversations with their other lovers, then it's game on, and Brooke and Ridge should publicly announce their reunion. Brooke's not going to slow up, and I doubt Ridge is going to care too much that he publicly humiliates Taylor, because he didn't care when he was publicly humiliating Brooke. Let's be real, Ridge is missing a sensitivity chip. So many people are going to be celebrating the Bridge reunion and rubbing it in the faces of those they dumped. Katie is going to be gleeful. She was already kind of up in Taylor's face last week about Brooke, so I don't think she's going to have a problem salting the wound. Donna will probably tell Taylor, I told you so, now pack your crap and get out of my house. Will Spencer is going to be happy for his Aunt Brooke, and I can't imagine Taylor sticking around to stare at Brooke and Ridge getting their happily ever after. I also can't wait until this fall when Steffi is back to see her reaction to Brooke and Ridge's reunion. Our fifth and final prediction, Lee and Sheila conspire. So next week, spoilers have Sheila asking Lee why she saved Luna. Sheila has suspected for a while something was off because Lee would never answer her questions about where she buried Luna or scattered her ashes. And then Sheila saw some of the meds that Lee dropped and thought that Lee was doing drugs to cope with the grief. But then Sheila did some stalking, as I suspected she would, and she found Lee with comatose Luna. Next week, Sheila wants to know why Lee did it, and I think the grandmas are going to find out they're on the same page. From there, I'm guessing Lee's going to tell Sheila, please go away and let me take care of Luna. But Sheila's not going to go for that. And I'm guessing she's going to remind Lee she used to be a nurse and will want to share the caretaking duties with Luna. It will be hard for Sheila to explain to Deacon where she's at for hours a day because Sheila can't tell Deacon the truth. He despises Luna. He'll hate to know that she survived. And now that Sheila knows the truth, Lee won't have much choice but to trust Sheila and bring her in on it or risk blowing her secret.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.